Hey guys, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO. Hope you guys are doing great. We've got the cafe closed down, and I thought, man, let me get into this real quick because, we finally got these lawsuits popped from Justin Prince versus Modere, now Modere versus Justin Prince. There's a lot of crazy around this. There's a lot of people honestly saying about time. There's others saying what's going on. What concerns me the most is you have a whole field of rank and file reps at Modere that love the company, love the products, love the leadership, and they're saying, "Are we going bankrupt? What's going on?" And then that has allowed some people to say, "Well, what really is going on? Did Justin Prince do something? Is it Modere doing something? Is it ZCapital doing something?" So I want to look at this real quick, and I don't want to keep it going for a long time, but I want to look at some things here that I think are important. Justin filed his lawsuit as an individual versus Modere filing against him as an individual and his LLC. And that's the first part that we have to look at. I think Modere is making sure that there's nothing left out. There's a possibility that Justin's LLC is part of the partnership called New Ways Limited Partnership out of the Cayman Islands. And I bring that one up because Justin doesn't list that entity in his lawsuit. But he does mention how ZCapital and the partners took profits from Modere and then saddled Modere with the debt. But he's not clear on this. And this is important to me because I got hit with the Securities and Exchange Commission for being vague on Tom Chenault's national radio show. A lot of you guys know that. That was in 2013. So I understand that when you're vague, it can come back to bite you, is what it can do. So, if Justin was part of the partnership, which we know he's part of, we just don't know when he's mentioning partners, does he just mean ZCapital took all the money? I doubt that because there's lots of operating agreements between all of these entities, all the way back to the New Ways Corporation, which was the Maurer family, Tom and Dee Dee back then. That's a whole nother saga. But Modere, really like a phoenix, came out of that mess. And for the last decade have been jamming it out and doing well. With Justin coming in, helping to do the rebrand, and then with the permission of the original couple of people that oversaw all of New Ways. There's only 2 legs in New Ways at the time. So overseeing all that, they said, yes, we don't have a problem with making a position for Justin above us. Now, since then, Justin has brought a boatload of people from other companies, and there's been lawsuits on that. And I think that's the concern people have is, well, was Justin just fulfilling what he always does? Was he following his actual mode of operation in his program when he's bringing leaders in from other companies? And I'm actually just trying to be without any type of emotion to this. There's people that will call him a corporate raider. He raids and pillages downlines, all this other stuff. And I'm going to cover that in a different video because I don't want to cover Justin Prince in that. I want to cover a behavior that is a toxic behavior that shouldn't be indirect sales. It's toxic in any business, but it's definitely toxic here. What I want to look at is this lawsuit, because what Justin has done is basically validate what Modere has stated. So Justin's lawsuit, and I'm going to read it to you here. It says, in an effort, his allocation is, in an effort to remain financially solvent, Modere wrongfully terminated the relationship with Justin and kept the commissions he's earned. They usurped Justin's vast network of nearly 60,000 downline networkers. Now, I want to tell you, anything can happen in a court of law, but there's no such thing as MLM law. There's no such thing as network marketing or direct selling law. There are contractual law. Network marketing is built upon contracts. It's what you've agreed to, what you signed. And Justin has signed several agreements. He's got an equity agreement. He's got non-disclosure agreements. He's got all these agreements. But the one that he is liable for that we can see publicly is the Modere policies and procedures, because he made it very clear, I sat at the top of the tree. It's me that built the business. So when you look at policy 9.1, discretionary sanctions, violation of the agreement or these policies and procedures or any illegal, fraudulent, deceptive, or unethical business conduct by the social marketer, that's Justin Prince, may result at Modere's discretion in one or more of the following corrective manners. Now there's 10 corrective manners, but at the end of it, this is what you end up with. Number 8, involuntary termination of the offender's social marketing agreement. Modere has stated that, well, he told people that we were going bankrupt, that we were doing all this, and Justin's own lawsuit validates what they say. So it says in here that he had, he's saying that the reason the company was going belly up is because the board of directors began failing, poor management by the board of directors. Sorry about that. Modere's business began failing as sales declined. Let me explain something. If sales are declining, you can't blame the board of directors on that. Now, you can easily say, well, we were out of product. You can say, well, our back office sucks. You can say all this stuff. It has nothing to do with sales. Customers don't care about that. Is there a possibility that the conversion goes down because you've got a bad sales process? Possibly, except that has not been the case. So what it looks like is that whenever this information came to Justin, and he says, George Russell, the executive chairman of Modere's board and a partner of ZCapital, told Justin Modere was heading for bankruptcy and discussing how Justin should message to his downline planned commission cuts, layoff, cost cutting, and Modere's CEO, Esma, being stripped of her power. Now, if they talked about that, and the way this is written, it said, after George Russell, the executive chair of Modere's board and partner, told Justin Modere's doing all this, we've got to discuss how. Nowhere in this does it say, go talk to your downline. And therein lies this situation. I don't know if Justin Prince has ever sat on the board of a publicly traded company, if he's ever been an equity partner before, or if he's ever been an equity partner in an enterprise this big and this convoluted with all these different entities involved. I don't know that. But if he hadn't, then he should have talked to his attorneys prior and say, hey, what is it I can and can't say? He should have talked to Mr. George Russell or the CEO. Hey, is this something I should be talking about or not talking about? Because many times, and for me, I sat on the board of 2 different publicly traded companies. I sat on the board of nonprofits. I have several equity positions in a variety of products inside or projects inside and outside of direct sales. So I fully understand the fiduciary responsibility that I have not to talk about proprietary inside information. But in Mr. Prince's case, he literally lists all of the stuff right here inside of his lawsuit, once again validating what Modere's lawsuit is, which basically says he violated his fiduciary responsibility. He violated his non-disclosure. He's violating his non-competes. His insider, Mr. Justin Sierra, who was the North American Modere general manager, was in collaboration with him. That basically both lawsuits say the same thing. It's just Justin saying, wait a minute, I had permission to do this. And Modere saying, no, you didn't have permission to do this. We were talking to you as a partner. We were talking to you as an insider. We were trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. You know, some people said, Troy, if they were going to be cutting commissions, that's awful. No, there are certain bonuses that are bonuses. You can do away with bonuses and not strip away the compensation plan. We don't know if any of that was going to happen. Now, I can tell you that there's self-fulfilling prophecies. And if, and that's the key word here is if Justin Prince, in collaboration with Justin Sierra, said, hey, I've got a way to make this work, Let's start planning something. That way we've got something that we can fall back on. Now we can run things. Now we can do it better. Let's go talk to some of these big guys that we know that are they're equity partners. They want to get involved. They're launching publicly traded SPACs. They've got all this stuff. Let's go jump on them. Or maybe there's that big guy down there in Dallas. Let's go talk to him. He's got a lot of equity, a lot of company. Any of that could have transpired. We don't know. What we do know is he started talking to leaders in Modere in the field. Therein lies the issue, because that's a violation also of policies and procedures. You can talk to your frontline people, which in this case, I think there's only 4, but you can't go into their legs and start talking to those people because they're not your people. Even though the lawsuit says that Mr. Prince has built this 60,000 people network. No, he did not do that. Matter of fact, he probably did very, very little of that. And what he did do probably came from him going into other companies when there was some vulnerability in bringing those leaders out. And you may say, Troy, you're making accusations. No, I'm looking at lawsuits. You got lawsuits with what was Nerium, now Neora. You've got Advocare. You've got all these lawsuits that are public out here. And then you see that he's got the Ultimate Leader Transition Guide on how to do this kind of stuff. So that's what Modere is going to be using, because what's happened is it honestly looks like Justin was walking his walk. Whether you like it or not, it looks like he was doing exactly what he teaches other people to do. He was preparing for a transition. The difference is he's an equity partner. He's not just a rep in the field. He's not just someone that was wrongfully terminated. He wasn't somebody that, okay, now we got to go into arbitration. Depending on how this flows, listen to this. This could be seen as a corporate espionage. Plain and simple, under Utah law or under federal law. That's what this could end up becoming, because basically what you're saying is that we've got Modere saying you took insider information and you've used it to our demise. We cannot recover from this. We don't even know how we're going to recover from this, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy that Justin Prince says, well, they were going bankrupt. No, you created the bankruptcy. That's what we're looking at. If they go bankrupt, they're going to say Justin Prince created it. If they go bankrupt, Justin's going to say, well, you were already headed in that direction. The dilemma is this started in May, and when he talked to the CEO in private, then he says in right around August, he talked to the chairman of the board in private. So now private information has been disseminated to the public, and if Modere can show where their sales started to decline after these conversations, they will have a leg to stand on. And they could say, under Utah law, the Uniform Trade Secrets Act, that Mr. Prince used improper means, including the theft, bribery, misrepresentation, breach or inducement of a breach of duty. This is where the insider with Justin Sierra comes into play, to maintain secrecy or espionage through electronic or other means. Misappropriation, acquisition of trade secrets of another by a person who knows or have reason to know that the trade secret was acquired in improper means. Here's what that can mean. I'm talking to you, but now you go and tell somebody else, and now my sales go down. You know, if you look at it from the federal standpoint, it says corporate espionage is stealing proprietary information, trade secrets, or intellectual property from a business and giving or selling it to another. The primary intent behind corporate espionage is to use the acquired information to gain a competitive advantage. Part of Modere's lawsuit is they were conspiring to start their own company, conspiring to move people away, conspiring to bring Modere down. See where this is? It's crazy. But this is just the beginning. Now we're going to wait and see what comes out of discovery, what comes out of the depositions, or there is a good possibility. If there's some type of forensic evidence that can truly show one side or the other, this is what happened, then this may just go into a settlement situation. Seriously, they'll start cutting deals behind the scenes. We'll never know what happened, period. Even if Modere went bankrupt, even if somebody came in and bought them out, whatever, we would never know what's happened, and that happens quite a bit. California has you cannot record a conversation there. You cannot do certain things in California. I'm not sure Nevada is that way, and one of these meetings took place in Nevada. There could be recordings, there could be videos, could be anything. We don't know. We just got to look at what's here. We're looking at the facts. We're looking at the possibility based on the law in the state and at a federal level, and we're looking at Mr. Prince's track record when it comes to going into other companies and bringing leaders out or enticing leaders to leave. That's what we're looking at. And that's what Modere is stating in their lawsuit. We're going to put these up on, probably I'll put it up on my personal website, these documents. I don't have any type of monetization off of my website, so if somebody just sits there and watches them, it's not like I make any money or anything over there. But I think it's important that you read the lawsuits, that you understand more about the lawsuits, so that you can know, how can I make sure in the future my organizations are protected from the drama that takes place between multimillionaires. And at the end of the day, that's what you have here. Justin Prince is making a multi-million-dollar income. Don't know how much of that is from the field and how much of it is from his equity. You got ZCapital trying to protect their multi-million-dollar enterprise. There's been over $2 billion in sales that has flowed through this corporation in the last 10 years that it's been Modere. These are the things that are at stake, and that's why we're covering this. Live life like it's an epic adventure. Stay dangerous, stay strong, and if you're in network marketing, act like it.